Thank you for joining me yet again in an exercise wherein I will read a paragraph to you, such as the one located just behind me. Embedded within it are the potential for errors related to grammar, punctuation, syntax, and so forth. So please keep that in mind as you listen to me read it. Afterwards, I will step out of frame and hope to God that you can read that clearly. Okay, I'll step out of frame and ask that you pause the video to make corrections independently. And you would resume once you feel as though you've made all the possible corrections there are available, and you and I will correct them together. Ideally, your corrections will match or align with my own. Feel free to let me know what you've done in the comment section below. If you perhaps disagree with something that I've included as a correction, or perhaps you have a better alternative or suggestion. And hopefully you find this video helpful. Please give it a like if you do, and subscribe if you'd like to continue to practice with me. For now, I'm going to go ahead and get started by reading the paragraph, or the story in this case. All right, starting at the top, we have the frightened echo simply nodded. Hera continued to proclaim angry, "The gift that you have used to trick me shall be yours no longer. From this moment on, you will not be able to speak until someone else has spoken. Then, even if you wish to remain silent, you will be forced to repeat the last words you have heard." "Alas!" cried all the nymphs at once. "Alas!" cried Echo. She could say nothing else, even though she longed to beg Hera's forgiveness. She could no longer speak to her sisters, but was compelled to repeat what they said, whether she wanted to or not. Quite the fate. All right, go ahead and pause here to make those corrections and resume when you're ready to correct with me. Okay, I'm moving and shaking, which tells me you have hit play and we are ready to correct. So let's go ahead and do that now. Right at the beginning, we have the frightened, and then right off the bat, hopefully you notice that this word is misspelled. It should be ED at the end, so frightened, ED. The frightened echo simply nodded. Hera continued to proclaim angrily, not angry. We want to use the adverbial form of that, right? So angrily, ANGRILY. And here, as suggested through the context of the sentence, we begin the dialogue, right? This is what, in this case, Hera is saying. So we're going to use quotation marks to open it up, and we're going to keep that as a capital because we treat that secondary clause or that dialogue piece as a fresh sentence. So, "The gift that you have used to trick me shall be yours no longer. From this moment on, comma," there's a pause for dramatic effect, "you will not be able to speak until someone else has spoken," with an N. I'm going to move that period over. Then, "even if you wish to remain silent, you will be forced to repeat the last words you have heard." Homophone, right? Sounds like the word I intend to use. Instead, this is actually a word with an entirely different meaning, like a herd or a collection of cattle. Here, we want to turn it into the sounds that we're hearing, right? H-E-A-R-D, right? And we're going to close quote it. "Alas!" cried all the nymphs at once. "Alas!" cried Echo. Well, okay, if she's proclaiming, or rather shouting or screaming this, we're going to go ahead and capture that using quotes. Cried Echo. She could say nothing else, even though she longed to beg Hera's forgiveness. This should be beg, beg Hera's forgiveness. We want the possessive form, so Hera, singular, possessive of the forgiveness. She could no longer speak to her sisters, comma, but was compelled to repeat what they said, whether, which should actually be spelled with an H, W-H-E-T-H-E-R, she wanted to or not, period. All right, thus concludes the corrections that I have on offer. Please feel free to let me know if perhaps you have an alternative set of corrections in the comment section below. And if you'd like to continue to practice, as I mentioned earlier, by all means, please subscribe. All right, thank you.